This time Johnny brought me 100 bicycle spokes and asked how I was going to surprise him this time. You already know I never say no to a challenge like that, so I immediately measured the spokes and cut off both ends with an angle grinder. Then I packed the spokes tightly inside a custom-made steel container. To fill all the empty spaces, I added steel powder and sprinkled in some borax to drive the oxygen out during forging. Next, I fired up my charcoal forge and heated the container until it was glowing red hot. Then I carefully began hammering it evenly from every side. I repeated this process several times, heating it, hammering it, and heating it again. Once I could feel that everything inside had fused into one solid billet, I let the container cool. Then I cut off both ends with an angle grinder and peeled away the outer steel shell like a skin. Inside was a solid billet made entirely from fused bicycle spokes. I welded a handle onto it and heated it once again in the forge. Now the real forging began. From morning until evening, I hammered the hot steel with everything I had, trying to draw it out as long as possible. Since I don't use a hydraulic press or a power hammer, every single blow came from my own hands. By the end of the day, I could barely feel my arms. I managed to forge a long bar about 4 millimeters thick, then shaped the tip and forged the tang. This was the forged blade by the end of the day. The next morning, I moved to the belt grinder. First, I refined the profile and removed all the uneven hammer marks from both sides. Some details couldn't be reached with the grinder, so I finished them by hand with a file. I really enjoy working with a hand file because it gives me complete control over the steel. Next came the most important stage, grinding the bevels. Then I drilled the tang for the handle. After that, I wrapped the entire blade with steel wire. I mixed clay with finely ground charcoal and coated almost the entire blade, leaving only the cutting edge exposed. Then I fired up my gas forge, heated the blade to approximately 800 degrees Celsius, and quickly quenched it in preheated oil. Once the heat treatment was complete, I started sanding. This took a very long time as I worked from 150 grit all the way to 2000 grit. Next, I made the decorative brass fittings. I melted brass and cast a round guard, then filled the engraved patterns with black epoxy to create a beautiful contrast. For the handle, I selected a solid block of hardwood and carved a slot for the tang. I glued the wood together and let it cure overnight. The following day, I shaped the handle to its final form. Then I wrapped it in leather and added a beautiful brass pommel. Finally, I polished every metal part, assembled everything together, and this was the final result. A katana forged from 100 bicycle spokes. If you think I won this challenge too, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.